Hello everyone and welcome to the final round of the Discraft Cascade Challenge taking place at Shelton Springs Disc Golf Course. It's lead card championship Sunday. Niklas Anttila along with Chandler Fry, Väinö Mäkelä, and Kevin Kieffer. Looking forward to it, and I fulfilled the promise, everyone. We brought in Alden Harris for a third day. Man, you guys are going to have to beef up on the Patreon so that we can get this guy his bonus. Thanks for joining us, Alden.
Of course. Thanks for giving me the call back. I was a little worried, but here for the final round.
Yes, you are. And we're looking at this course again. Nothing's changing. And so we're going to see it for a third round. But right off the bat, wind is down compared to yesterday. It's going to feel a little more like Friday's round? Is that a fair statement?
Yes, I'd say even calmer than Friday's round. This is by far the best conditions we've had so far this weekend.
Oh, we got to get this. Those shoes do match. I talked to him today, and he told me that those are special unreleased shoes by Merrill right now, and he may be working with them in something special. So
very cool. Glad we got to the bottom of that one.
Yeah. The shoe fits. All right. Chandler Fry is going to be teeing off second. We saw Anttila. That's going to be his third day in a row not getting off of this tee clean, which is kind of surprising, and see if Fry can improve on it.
Sneaky. It was yesterday.
A little sneaky, but also went a good bit long. Could be kind of a tough putt coming back, I think. This is something the Finns, I've noticed a lot of them have done on these shorter par threes throughout the tour, is going standstill. I don't feel like any Americans do it, but the Finns seem to all prefer doing this. Kind of interesting to see.
I know.
My theory is that they during the winter all the tee pads are covered in ice, so they kind of have to.
I think that's a fair guess and assessment. One of the most famous guys to do it was a little bit before your time. Steve Brinster is one of the few that kind of stands and delivers in that sense. But you're right, it is not nearly as common for our players in the U.S. Anttila, for the third day in a row, looks like a par on the first hole. Väinö's bid is short.
Don't feel like it's talked about enough with Chandler, but in my opinion, I think he's in the top 3 to 5 best putters in the world. I feel like I hardly ever see him miss a putt. It is definitely the strong suit in his game.
Oh, boy.
Kieffer not confident with that, and I couldn't agree with you more. And if anyone doubted that, they should go back to a couple of years ago over on the Disc Golf Network. We had the putting championship that was kind of a virtual thing that was taking place during COVID, and Chandler, of course, one of our top finalists in that competition.
Yeah, no surprise there.
There you go.
Väinö very methodical in his approach to pretty much everything. We talked about the standstill, but he really kind of pauses and holds a position for a long time before he releases. Coincidentally, that's exactly what Steve Brinster does. Brinster goes through a whole routine and then kind of just sets in a position where you're like, wait, is the screen frozen? Are we stopping? It's, yeah, I guess that's an interesting similarity between the two of them in that sense.
Are we sure Brinster's not from Europe?
That's actually a good point. But no, I think representing out there in the New Jersey, New York area. And hole 1, not giving up a birdie for our group.
Yeah, very surprising. I'm guessing that'll change here on hole 2. Pretty routine hyzer. The only tricky part is that it is a very tight gap, especially for a hole 2 so early in the round. It can be a bit daunting, but if you get out the gap with some hyzer, you usually will have a birdie putt. And Niklas starting off with 2 pars, it's looking like, if he can get up and down there.
Yeah, yesterday we saw him scramble pretty hard just to save the par.
I didn't mention it, but there's a Mando on the left side there, and it looks like Chandler has missed it. He will be going to the short pad. The red pad, it's over to the right. Try to save his par.
And it's only hole 2, and I've already made a bogey myself. Anttila did birdie hole 1 during round 1. We did see it on coverage.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to.
No, hey, call me out.
I didn't want to.
I was wrong one other time in life, so if you can find the second, I'm here for it.
Surprising not to see one person on our card make it in circle 1.
So you called it. Chandler goes to the drop zone, which is the red tee pad. And he's a little deep on that effort, so he's going to have a lengthy putt. That's just going to be to save bogey.
Can't help but think that's why Niklas is shooting so well this week. Every time he's out of position, it seems like he, I don't know, no matter how awkward the lie is, he seems to get up and down. And he only has 1 bogey up until this point, right?
Yeah, we watched him bogey hole 9 yesterday in round number 2. So he's, well, currently 37 or 38 holes in with just 1 bogey.
Yeah.
Kevin, of course, wearing the brace because he's come off knee surgery a few months ago. Any updates that you know of? I mean, he's out here playing, and he's playing some good golf. Is there anything that you know of beyond that?
From what I know, it seems like it's really not bothering me at all. I think as long as he wears the brace, he doesn't even really think about it. It doesn't hinder him in any way, and it seems like he's playing the best golf he ever has this year. He actually was telling me why he thinks he was playing the best golf he ever has this year, and it's because he's been playing Disc Golf Valley on his phone, was his theory.
Wow. All right. It sounds like that's a paid ad by Latitude, though, if I really had to guess.
It certainly could be, but, I mean...
You got to get that bag, though, Kevin.
His play speaks for itself, so maybe there's some truth to it.
Disc Golf Valley turning into on-the-course success. Wow.
Yeah, he said specifically his forehand has gotten better since playing Disc Golf Valley.
All right. Well, I don't think you'll need it here on hole number 3.
Yes, hole 3, the furthest hole on the course, par 5. Hazard on the left, OB on the right, right and kind of long. You just kind of want to put yourself in position and have a shot into the gap here. You don't need a ton of distance into this gap on your second shot. You usually have some type of up and down wherever you land. This is looking absolutely perfect. Exactly what you want. Seems like you got a lot of distance. Maybe the most distance we've seen someone on the coverage so far.
And we hear the rain picking up, and it's crazy. And I know this is, you know, common in this area, but 1 minute it feels like perfectly nice, you know, blue skies, and the next minute it's raining on you.
Yes.
And you just always bring your umbrella. That's the thing I learned this weekend, is no matter what, bring it along, no matter what the conditions look like at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I have to relearn that every time I come here. I always am caught in a round with no umbrella, and it just starts downpouring out of nowhere.
So 4 safe drives. How practical is the Eagle 3 on this hole? Is that what kind of something special need to happen?
Yeah, I could see it being done, but you'd have to get very, very aggressive off the tee. I believe that hazard, the very last point of it is around 550 feet. So if you get past that, I could see it happening, but still it would be a pretty, I don't know, tough ask, this last little tunnel here. It doesn't seem like a great spot that Väinö landed, but he will have usually something. There's always some type of scramble in here if you are able to penetrate into the woods enough.
I know I was just talking about eagles, but hole 3 has come in as the 3rd easiest hole on the course here today. So plenty of birdies happening. It
Yeah.
feels like you should at least walk away with the par, and birdie should be in play as well.
Yes, for sure. I think you mentioned it in one of the rounds. It's always a tailwind on this hole, and I think that definitely helps with the scoring average.
Niklas called it. That actually hit right off the disc. I was just thinking, what are the odds of that? The fact that you throw an approach to where someone else is, and then it hits off of a disc perfectly.
Something pretty similar happened to me and Isaac during a practice round at Champions Cup. It was on a very hard par 3, very far par 3, and he threw his disc first, and then we get up there. Well, I obviously threw mine second, and then we get up there, and mine was somehow under his disc, like 400 feet away.
That sounds like some, I don't know, some Gannon shenanigans or something.
Yeah.
I think there's more to the story.
There certainly could be, but he never fessed up, so we'll never know.
Väinö from long range. Yeah, nearly a third of the field walked away with birdies here. 32 of our competitors.
Kevin is absolutely deadly from just outside the circle. It seems like he's one of those players who would rather be a foot outside the circle than being a foot in.
Chandler will get one back after the double bogey on 2. One thing that I found interesting after 3 rounds out here is the greens are, shaped like this. They have some trees around them, and they're exposed. It's dirt, and they're relatively fast. However, you don't see a lot of roots. You don't, catch awkward things or something sticking out. You get pretty, true ground play, so to speak.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's funny you mention that because on hole 3 today, I threw my approach and it was looking perfect and hit a root near the basket and went to like circle's edge. So I think for the most part you're right about that, but I guess I'm just the unluckiest player.
I guess. As we head to 4, we saw some beautiful drives here in the last couple rounds.
That is so good for a backhand. That is exactly what you want.
Oh, I got some claps though.
Yeah, take the little victories when you get them.
They're probably clapping because they saw Ezra's shot yesterday on the hole, so they thought that was a good one compared to that. Oh, no way.
Yeah, off the front of the cage. What a beautiful shot. We're going to get just the second half of flight again coming in. Watch this one more time. Yeah, just incredible shot.
That is crazy.
That's one way to make up for a double bogey.
No kidding. This is such a Väinö shot. He's so good with these flippy mid-ranges. Seems like all the Finns are.
There's not much they're not good at, if
That's
you
true.
really think about it too, right?
That's
Like
very
if we
true.
want to kind of extrapolate that, I'm trying to think of where do you find a Finnish weakness, and there isn't a common one, that's for sure. If there is one at all, it's not common. Wow, left himself some work on the comebacker. And brutal. It's going to be a 3-putt, turning the birdie look into the bogey. And sometimes when that happens right in front of you, and then you have to step up and putt, you kind of let, some of that, I don't know, vibe seep in.
Yeah, it definitely becomes the basket seems a little bit smaller when you see a couple misses in front of you.
Anttila looking for just his second birdie of the round. Round one, he did start off with 4 consecutive birdies to get the tournament going. Väinö comes in with a 10.26 rating. He shot 7 under in the first round and then 7 under in the second round to get to the 14 under. And arrived there very differently than what we saw from, say, Kevin Kieffer, who shot a 4 and an 8 to get to his 12 under to make it to the lead card. And Chandler, pretty consistent as well, though. Went 8 under and then 7 under. Now back to even for today's round. So back-to-back birdies after the double. We head to the 5th.
Yes, the 5th. It's hard to describe this hole because there's not too much of a fairway on the second half. Pretty fair drive, though. You want to just hit the gap either with a forehand or a backhand that has some late turn. There's OB about 400 feet straight, but you basically just want to go in between these 2 bigger trees and see what you get. This seems well done. Hit something late, but he'll have some type of scramble most likely into the basket.
It's good. That's a good dish.
Nice. After a couple redirects, he's in a pretty good spot. And looks like he's going to be kind of punished with a bad lie there after a really, really good shot. Seems like he kind of got right behind that tree.
Flips over too much, but it does carry forward.
Something. Thank you.
Rarely do you hear somebody ask for a little assist after a release like that, asking for it to hit something.
Definitely rare at any other course, but here, I feel like I hear it a couple times around.
Väinö with his 3rd, so he's struggling. And look at the result that Chandler's given after the redirect. Take advantage.
Such a difficult second half on this hole. There's just so many trees. There's lanes everywhere, so you just kind of want to pick which one you feel most comfortable with, but they're all pretty tough to hit.
That's 4 consecutive shots from our players that we see wrapping on a tree. Väinö's 4th. And from there, he'll have a tap-in bogey. Anttila trying to avoid bogey. That looked easy enough.
That did. He makes those look pretty dang easy.
Maybe some undercommitment coming out of Fry there. You heard him kind of scoff at that one after he released it. I'm not sure he put enough angle on it or enough zip on the angle he did have, one of the two.
A little Disc Golf Valley forehand there. Yeah, I was about to say that's like the distance I think of when I think of Chandler Fry. That's just seems like his automatic distance is another 10 feet, maybe 15 feet more of any other normal player.
Hole 5 actually played as the 3rd most difficult hole on the course today.
Yeah, that's no surprise. It can be kind of a daunting tee shot. If you hit early, the hole becomes just so hard and feels impossible to get a par.
I mean, you wouldn't know. You birdied it today.
I actually got that one all 3 times, believe it or not.
Dang.
Yeah.
All right, doing work.
Hole 6, one of the trickier par 3s. It's kind of a weird shape. You want to push something really straight, something overstable that fades or skips at the end. Usually a pure shot here lands about 20 to 30 feet. It's really difficult to park this one.
And a Mando does come into play, it looks like. Or can.
Yes, it definitely can. It's similar to hole 2. It's like basically the exact same Mando as hole 2, about probably 60, 70 feet off the tee and to the left. Looks slightly early from Kevin. Yeah, just another 15 feet and that's perfect.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see that a hole that's 325 feet averaged over par on the day.
Wow.
Yeah, 3.06.
I've seen this. You kind of have to choose either to throw something high to let it stall back or go low and do a skip shot. Väinö kind of opted to go high there to get the left finish, and it worked out pretty well.
Not good, man.
Not happy with it, but that's Chandler range. See if he can make good in another one.
No one making a significant push at this point on Anttila. There's a certain comfort zone that he's probably operating in. Just seeing that, you know, he's not going to need to probably play his best golf in order to hold these guys off.
Yes, for sure. I think all these players knew it would probably take something pretty special today to catch Niklas, and it would also probably take some help from Niklas.
We do see that Chandler Kramer is putting together a good round as Chandler Fry doesn't convert from 45. Kramer off to a really hot start. He's a few cards back, and we'll keep an eye on what he's doing.
Yeah, me and Ezra played a practice round with Chandler, and it's because he's forehand dominant, a lot of these holes are pretty tricky for him, but it was cool to see the creative lines he was coming up with and taking.
So the birdie by Väinö and then a par by Kieffer. It's for Anttila to walk away with the par. He's left the door open for somebody to make a charge. The problem is no one's stepping through that door.
Yeah.
We head to the 7th.
Yes, the 7th. I believe it's the only basket other than the hole 2 that's pretty much in the wide open. Starts off with a tight gap. Just want to throw a disc you feel comfortable hitting the gap with, and it'll also go around 400 feet. If you hit the gap with the right disc, you will always have a birdie look. I didn't mention, but there is OB to the left. Looks like Väinö is going to find it.
It wasn't going to go there until you said it.
I know.
That's a commentator curse, right?
Yeah, I think I said day one that the OB's kind of hard to find, but I feel like I've seen a handful of people go into it because of the right to left wind. If the wind kind of gets under the disc, it tends to I don't know, find it pretty quickly.
And it just continues to drift it over that way, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what we're seeing after a couple of skips. And yes,
Oh, man. I just need to stop talking.
they've been telling me that for years, but it's my channel, damn it. I'll talk as much as I want.
Oh, no. Sit down.
Oh,
Okay.
that will check up. And speaking of checking up, we got to check in. We got to thank Justin doing some work out there on the catch cam. Thank you so much over at Fairway Media. And I have Elijah on the throw cam. And not able to save the par. Check out their channels. Those are both in the description. Some pretty cool stuff. And then Alden, of course, runs a vlog channel.
Yes. Some pretty, don't really know how to describe my channel, but you're welcome to go check it out.
I was going to say, what should they expect next on your channel? Maybe that's the question.
There's really no telling.
Okay.
It's just random videos throughout the week of all the events. But yeah, you'll never going to get the same thing twice over at my channel.
Chanimal, though, doing work. He's been hovering back and forth just above, just below par throughout the entire round. That's going to bring him back to even for the day. Anttila from circle 2. Right to left wind and just doesn't get it up high enough. Of course, we saw Anttila pick up biggest win of his career at the Elite Series down in Texas a couple months ago now.
Man, and Kevin rolled all the way outside circle 2 there, but was able to put it in for par.
Actually, I think that was for bogey because he had gone out of bounds.
That's right.
And then that one got away from him, though. So he's doing work just to card the bogey.
Yeah, that's such a hard bogey putt. On to hole 8. It's been the easiest hole, I believe, the last 2 days. I'm guessing it hasn't changed. All you want is to throw a disc, preferably into this gap, but anything will really work as long as it gets a little bit through the woods, and you usually have a relatively easy up and down. But we will see. Terry, can you guess where my drive landed on this hole?
I'd hazard to guess that it might be up on the right side, maybe
It was
in the hazard.
It was a little chilly. My hands were a little cold. A slight grip lock. Next thing I know, I was inside the circle putting for birdie on the last hole, which really is impossible to get to. The green of the last hole is about 100 feet directly left of where this tee pad is. So, yeah.
Not ideal.
Not ideal. I had to stop Ezra and Adam Hammis's card as they were trying to putt. I had to go over there and
Excuse me, guys.
play my line.
Playing through. So that one won't make the highlight reel.
No. I'm hoping it didn't even get on video anywhere, so.
Well, we saw an eagle in round 1, and then that one almost chasing down Justin Banks down there.
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but a roller is a really good play that a lot of players are going for because when the disc is entering the woods, it's completely vertical, so it kind of has a, I guess, a low likelihood of hitting a tree compared to normal shots. Chandler with a nice little forehand flex there. The left side of the screen is definitely the more open side, but the right side also is pretty accessible. Long eagle bid here from Niklas. Oh, man.
Wow, and I got some stats that'll blow your mind here as we're watching. Väinö, also from long range. Day 1, this averaged .45 under par. It played as the easiest. We saw 2 eagles. Day 2, it was the easiest at .27 under par. And day 3, .27 under par. How is it 98 competitors can come through and it plays the exact same 2 days in a row in 2 completely different sets of conditions.
That is pretty crazy. I got a birdie round 2 and a par round 3, so some other person out in the field must have gotten a par round 2 and birdie round 3.
We head over to the 9th, which is the
Yes.
site of the lone bogey that Anttila's had all weekend so
Yes,
far.
it's a very bogeyable par 3 because it is so tight all the way down from start to finish. It's just a tunnel. If you hit some early, it can make it pretty much impossible to get a par. Very difficult. But I think yesterday I said I had yet to seen anyone actually hit the gap yet because it's so small. So see if anyone can do it today.
Anyone do it on your card?
Harry, I pinned it today. Going
What?
up the gut. The first first person I've seen get through the gap.
Also the first person to be that close on the previous basket, as you're saying, though, on the previous hole.
Yes,
So
that's true.
maybe we'll keep the cameras in check.
And the tree Niklas hit there, you just want to go to the right of it, barely. But then if you go too right, there's another tree. So, pretty tough. Think you would hit this gap, Terry?
Probably not.
Yeah, didn't see one today either. That's, I guess, 12 times in a row in coverage. No one's managed to hit the gap. Just shows how hard this hole is. How impressive my shot was, right, Terry?
Yes. We're going to splice that in right now. Oh, no, we don't have
No,
that.
they don't have coverage for last part.
We've been loving you on the coverage. Obviously, you've been well received, and I appreciate the heck out of you joining. Anything to share before we close out on the front 9 here?
Not much. I'm very grateful you allowed me to come join. It's been really fun. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Well, it has been a lot of fun, and you've been great, so I appreciate it. We're doing this each night as the tournament's unfolding. Right around 11 o'clock is when we get things started. And you've been traveling over just to be here and be part of it, so everybody appreciates it. As Chandler not able to convert. Like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. I got a bunch of channels for you guys to go check out. Those are all in the description. And leave us a comment here. What's your favorite throwing style? Ooh, when playing for accuracy. And look at that, a birdie. Forehands, backhands, standstills, whatever it is. That's what we need to know. Put that in the comments. I know, cleans up for par. Right now, a comfortable lead heading into the back 9. But as I said, I know Chandler Kramer's doing some work, so we'll take a look and see if he's still making a charge up the leaderboard at this point. He had some work to do. Everyone, that's the front 9. There's 9 holes left to play for Alden Harris. I'm the disc golf guy. We see Chandler Kramer 6 under on the front, but still well back. I don't know if he's catchable.
I don't know. Look who's in second, though.
Dang! We'll see you guys on the back 9. Alden going for the win.